one, all of you that are seeking truth, justice, and maybe not the American way, but the way that you think is right. I am Dwayne at Made of Kimchi, and I will be your storyteller for this evening. This is session 0 of Trinity. I forgot the name. Trinity Quantum Aberrant Quantum Knights. Ah, yes. And we are Vorpal Tales. Here at Vorpal Tales, we present you with a plethora of terrifying tales and awesome adventures for your viewing pleasure. Please seek us out on the internet. Catch us here on Twitch. Check out our archives on our YouTube. Visit our webpage at vorpaltales.com and find links to all of our social media, Discord, and our Patreon. Check out our calendar to ensure you don't miss any of your favorite shows. Some of the sponsors that are now supporting Vorpal Tales are QUEmpire.com, a small company making original dice and products for your favorite RPG and card games. The Deck of Many, known for their various reference cards and creating the Humblewood and Heckna campaign settings. You can visit Vorpal Tales and check out our affiliate link. Anything that you purchase from these stores will benefit the show. And finally, Gemhammer and Sons, an RPG supplement store that has everything from Decks of Wonder to Decks of Illusion to dice. Check out the affiliate section on our website again. Click on the link and use the discount code of Vorpal Tales, all one word, for 10% off. Yay! Shout out to Astral Tabletop tonight for our virtual gaming space that we will be using. Thank you so much to Onyx Path for the Aberrant system that we will be using tonight. Usually we would thank N8 Mid, but he did not do character sheets for this one, but nevertheless, we send you all of our love. Thank you to Love Your Rebellion, a non-profit group that empowers marginalized groups through the arts. Be sure to check out their website at loveyourrebellion.org. And much love goes to our Patreons, Weapon M, David, and Don Arnetto. You guys are the true heroes in our eyes. And last but not least, thank you to all of our viewers and our fans that are watching this evening. So now, let us meet our players that will be saving the world. So, heroes, please introduce yourself. Tell everyone where you can be found, and that will be it, because we're going to do character creation right after that.
I am Tyler, Eldritch Echoes Online, Assistant GM, and excited to play Trinity Continuum, Aberrant.
Hey folks, I'm JT. You can find me online as at Zensomancer, and excited to be here.
Hi there, I'm Jane, also known as the Confused Crow on Twitter and Tumblr. I'm looking forward to creating my character.
Hey, I'm Harry, aka Slubry Cat, and I'm looking forward to doing the same.
I'm Zach Rules, Zachary Naldra, and it's time to get this party started.
And I'm The Touring on Twitter, and I run a podcast part-time. Other than that, I'm just a full-time geek.
Awesome. So having gotten that out of the way, let us just dive straight into it. So tonight is our session 0 of Aberrant. So we will be doing a little bit of backstory, how the system works, some character creations for you guys, and possibly getting into the beginning of our story. So for Aberrant kind of picks up where, or I should say Trinity Continuum Aberrant, picks up where Aberrant left off in the year 2018. At this point in the timeline, sorry, I got papers all over the place. At this point in the timeline, the research space station Galatea explodes, killing the astronauts on board and dumping radioactive material into the Earth's atmosphere. And because of this, many individuals are, we'll say, affected by this radiation and become what is to be soon known as novas. Novas are the quote-unquote superheroes of the time. And during this time, throughout the years, if anyone has watched The Boys, what happens is Novas are more or less seen not only as superheroes, but also as celebrities, if one can believe that. Different types of filmmakers and videographers launched the famous TV show Insight, which is all about novas and binovas, that chronicalizes their different heroistic acts and different days in their lives. However, there was a change come 2021 where the group that led most of the novas through their different social interactions, Project Utopia, they mediated negotiations between Israel and Palestine government, resulting in the London Peace Accord, establishing an independent Palestine along the border of Israel and Egypt, placing Jerusalem under the direct administration of the UN. Sometime after this, the group known as the Terrigen, led by a rogue, well, we will call him a rogue Nova, who believed that Novas were the true evolution of man, and that man was no longer needed. And man were then known as baselines. From that point on, numerous attacks happened throughout the world. And sorry, I've got pizza rolls in my throat. From that point on, these attacks occurred, and the group known as Terrigen was labeled as a terrorist organization. In the year 2027, the UN promotes an international agreement banning the use of all nuclear, biological, and chemical weapons, and begins negotiating ratification for all member states. At the beginning of that year, Mayor Frederick Tubert of Tampa, Florida, pushes through local ordinance banning the Nova terrorist organization Terrigen from the Tampa city limits. In a fiery speech, Mayor Rupert denounces Novas as aberrant freaks and threats to public peace and safety. Days later, local authorities take the terror salute into custody.
Dwayne's on fire today.
I know. I keep burping. Sorry. They take him into custody when he peacefully defies the ordinance. He is reprimanded into the custody of Project Utopia and becomes a focus for protests against the unjust treatment of Novas and violations to their civil rights. The Terrigen assassinates Mayor Rupert on behalf of all Aberrants on live video and promises similar retribution for anyone who threatens the lives or freedom of the one race. His violent faction of the Terrigen quickly become known as the Aberrants, a name they adopt. Other known Terrigen members or sympathizers refuse to denounce Jaren's actions, although some call the assassination impulsive or ill-considered. And this is where our story will take place. In our story, however, I am not going to make you be the terrorist portion of the Terrigen. However, you will still be Aberrants, because Aberrants are also known in the common baseline language as just any Nova. So now that we have a little backstory of what has occurred, let us look at the mechanics of the game while I change the page.
My turn?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. So, this is a story path game for anyone who is familiar with that system. It's very similar to World and Chronicles of Darkness if you've played that, but there are some changes. So, it's still a D10 pool game. That is the core mechanic. However, successes work a little differently. Target number for most things is always 8. However, Novas have a target number of 7. kind of like demigod scions or exalted characters, etc. Number of successes required, though, is determined by the difficulty of the task you're trying to succeed at and the complications involved in said task. Unlike most Onyx Path games, if you over-succeed, or if the group over-succeeds, we can create a dice pool calculating and compiling all of those extra successes. They fade between seeds, and then they juice back up as things get going in a new seed. But people in the group can pull from said group total and add to their roll. Doesn't give you bonus dice. You still have to make at least one success on your own. But if you get that one success, it will add successes afterwards. It's called enhancements. So, if I need 2 successes to shoot somebody and I get 4, those bonus 2 go in the pool if I don't use them. And then Ray needs 3 successes to jump and only gets 1. They can pull the 2 from that pool and get 3 if they at least got the 1 success. This is a fail-forward game, so a botch will usually have a negative connotation, but not as bad as World or Chronicles of Darkness. You'll most likely still succeed, but at a cost. The drawback to enhancements is sometimes they can be reversed on us. So that's how failing forward works. If I botch a roll, Dwayne's going to say you still successfully sneak into the building. However, you have complications now.
And I might not tell you those complications right away.
Alright, you might wait till the next roll and say, oh, you got 3 successes? It's not enough, you need 5 because you set the silent alarm off. That's how negatives work. It increases the amount you need to succeed later. The enhancements you get can also be changed by scale. We'll get to that in a minute. So, also, if for some reason we don't need the enhancements, or it's the end of a scene and they're about to disappear anyways, so it doesn't matter, you can just do what you did really, really well. Which is really up to Dwayne to tell you what that means, but it's mostly just a fluff thing. As opposed to just getting the job done, you did it so well, it's kind of amazing and awesome, and everyone slow claps for you. When you're in combat, or sometimes in a social encounter, you can also use enhancements to buy stunts. So, if I want to shoot you, and I roll 1 success, I roll 3 successes, I only need 1 to hit you, I can use those other 2 to apply stunts. Those stunts include causing damage. So just hitting someone doesn't hurt them in this game. You have to buy hurting you. You could also buy pin down, knockback, trip if you're in melee combat. In a social situation, you can buy stun them with your pretty smile, and they take penalties to their roll to resist you. And in mystery or investigation, you can buy stunts to where the GM is required to answer questions you might ask him, or you get extra clues you wouldn't have gotten otherwise. All the lists of those stunts are included in the core book, and then one specific to Novas are in the Trinity Aberrant book. Scale matters a lot in story path games. So, scale is a multiplier you apply to successes or on resistance rolls. I'm going to run into this a lot with Novas. Anybody that ends up with a mega trait. So, like, if you're a vampire and you get 3 strength, and then you buy potency, you're going to have 4 strength or 5 strength. That's not how it works for Novas. Novas, when they buy super stats, don't increase the stat. They get the mega version of the stat, which means not only are they way, way better at that thing, they also increase the scale. So every dot you have in a mega attribute increases your scale by 1. So that can mean if a human punches you and rolls 3 successes, they can 1 success to hit you, and they can buy the critical damage stun. Right? If you, as a Nova with Mega Strength 2, roll 3 successes, you actually roll 9. Which means you punch this hole in the side of a car. That's how scale works in a story path game. It's going to come up a lot, so definitely pay attention to that. We operate at a higher scale than humans as Novas. Dramatically so, much like Scion, for anyone who's played that. This applies to everything from mental actions to social to physical. Time works the same as in other games, so we don't need to touch on that. As for a round, when you have focus in a round, and the way you use focus is you take an action or a bad guy takes it away from you using various methods, stunning you, poisoning you, whatever. As long as you have focus, you can take an ordinary or a mixed action, removing your focus for the turn and ending your turn. You can take a reflexive action and not lose your focus, so think of reflexive actions like reactions. If you see that in the text anywhere, you just do it on reaction. An ordinary action is like, I punch a guy, or I slide across the hood and duck behind the car. Single things you do in your turn. A mixed action is multitasking. So, shooting a gun while weaving through traffic in a motorcycle, or reloading while driving would be a mixed action. Sometimes, or even most of the time, you'll split your dice pool for that too, but Novas break that rule because we cheated everything. This game uses milestones for complex actions all the time as opposed to only some of the time, like World and Chronicles. So anything that isn't like a straight up combat thing is going to be some kind of you need X number of successes to complete the goal. Those are your milestones. You need 5, you need 10, you need 20. That's how it works in story path games. So, a standard action has a standard list of milestones that Dwayne would fall back to. You need 5 successes to charm the guard, 10 to find the clue hidden in the room. If it's a complex action, meaning it's something that requires multiple moving parts, a complex plan, hacking a government agency, a forensic search of a room, is going to double the number of successes needed. So don't be surprised when you hear a lot of, you need 10 to 20 successes in this game. It's going to happen. Teamwork. When you work together, you don't necessarily have to all roll the same skill like in some other Onyx Path games. As long as we can convince Dwayne it applies, you can roll whatever to help. Any questions so far? Okay.
Do I have enough dice for this? If we need like 20 dice.
I would have at least 10.
That's
just
where
saying.
the Onyx Path dice
Yeah,
roller
it's
comes
not
in
always going to be
handy.
that high, especially in situations where multiple people are doing multiple things for the
Right.
same roll. So you may only need to roll 5, and then somebody else would roll 5. Or you're trying to get to a target success over time.
Okay.
Time between rolls varies wildly. In story path games, it's completely up to Dwayne how long he wants to take to do a thing. Could be 1 round, could be 1 day between rolls. Distance in this game. I missed that when I was talking about action. Distance is in range bands. There is no measurement of yards or feet or meters. So, crap. The immediate thing where you punch someone is called help Zach. It's not close.
Close.
It's the one closer than close. Immediate, adjacent, something like that.
Oh yeah,
Let me
I think it is adjacent.
That is your default scale. That's your default. You're right up in someone's face. You can reach out and touch them. Close range means they're within 5 to 10 feet. Medium range is 31 to 100 meters. Nope, it is close. Close is immediate. Short is the next one. So close is like you can touch them. Short range is 3 to 30 meters. Medium range is 30 to 100. Long is over 100, but less than 1,000. Extreme is the planet, and out of range is like space, or just impossible for the action you're considering. So only 4 real range bands you ever have to worry about: close, short, medium, long. The only one who has to worry about extreme in this group is probably Harry if he ever advances his teleporting. Initiative, since we don't have character sheets, and everyone's going to have to actually roll initiative, is a single D10 plus wits and dexterity. Your dots. So you got 2 wits and 2 dex. It's a D10 plus 4. Yes, Zach.
Cunning?
What's up?
Cunning.
Cunning. Sorry, you're right.
Yeah.
Not wits.
Different.
I crossed the streams again.
It happens.
let's see. Is there anything else we need to touch on? I already talked about procedurals, so we're good there.
How about collateral?
The stunts for procedurals are on page 84. If you're interested in intrigue, social stuff. Works a lot like Chronicles of Darkness, where you have to get past their inbuilt barriers to shift their attitude. That's the basics of the core game. From there, we start talking about Novas in the Nova template. And yes, like Dwayne said, when you increase the scale a lot, you have to deal with collateral damage all the time. So, I'm going to jump right to that since you mentioned it. The collateral pool works like the enhancement pool, but it's not necessarily a good thing. When we use a higher scale than the average scale, human scale, Dwayne adds half the action scale rounded up to the collateral pool in dice. So doing something at scale 3 gives Dwayne 2 dice of collateral damage. This is anything that operates at a higher scale than base scale. Each time we use a quantum power that uses area, destructive, explosive, or incendiary in the tag, Dwayne gets to add dice to the collateral pool. Blowing things up, melting things, burning things. Also, if he really wants to, he can add it when we critically fail, when we botch. And last but not least, cutting loose. When a Nova cuts loose, which we'll get to later, he gets to add all kinds of collateral damage. But we get all kinds of enhancements to our roll when we do that. When the collateral pool reaches 10 dice, whoever makes it happen as the player rolls those dice. Any additions, any successes that you get are added as enhancements to what you're doing that work, that Dwayne can use to add tags to what you did that you didn't want. Like hazards, or inciting riots, or causing mass damage, or raising the battlefield to the ground. Thus is collateral. Questions on that? Okay. That was actually your entire primer of how the rules work in this game. Not too complex, pretty simple. Oh, also, this game does have aspirations like Chronicles of Darkness. Fulfilling an aspiration as a group or as an individual grants experience at the end of every session. If everyone completes an aspiration, the whole group gets bonus success to encourage us to help each other to complete individual aspirations as a team. Okay. And I'm going to hand it back to Dwayne for a second before we actually talk about templates. So I can make that thing over there making noise that I'm sure you're hearing. Be quiet.
Oh.
So Dwayne, before we start building characters, you should probably tell us whatever setup we need to know ahead of time. Any changes to the world? Are we in a specific city? Since we're the Midnight Suns, or whatever comic book dark superhero team we are, talk about that.
Yes. So your group is, you work outside of the normal means of superheroes. You are currently employed by Project God, I'm losing all of my words here. So sad. Sorry, guys.
Daedalus?
No,
The other one?
Neptune.
the other one. Project Utopia. Blah.
Utopia. Okay.
But you got, dependent on how your backstories are, you may have come from another faction for a momentary means of employment. What they have told you is that members of the Terrigen have stolen a specific isotope that would allow people of ill means to pretty much eliminate the powers of novas. Almost like a kryptonite, if you will. And if injected directly into a nova, that nova would then be turned back into their baseline form, back into their normal human. Now, with Project Utopia having you're not sure how they got a hold of it or who developed it. They're a little bit mum on that situation. But the fact that it's in the hands of the Terrigen, that may be used to perhaps move their wills to developing a type of serum that doesn't destroy nova particles within a person, but perhaps destroying particles within baseline humans. So instead of getting rid of novas, you would get rid of all the baselines, which is basically what Terrigen wants. And you are currently being sent to I didn't know I'd have to do this so quickly. You are being sent to Ibiza, Ibiza, off the coast of Spain.
Ibiza?
Ibiza, yeah,
Yeah,
Ibiza. Ibiza, off the coast of Spain, where you are to meet an individual who was last seen with this, we'll call it a mutagen for now, and knows where, we'll call it a mutagen for now.
So Zach, all those jokes about partying, and he sends us to Ibiza.
Party Jack already has a timeshare there, so we have a place in already. He has plenty of glow sticks for everybody. Glitter for those who want it. The clothing drawers are pretty much all just different brightly colored G-strings and thongs.
Yep, it's ready for Ibiza.
Allowed to PvP if someone throws glitter on me?
So, what we would know as players is not the same as what we would know as characters. The Aeon Society has only told people we understand what happens when you become a Nova, but not why. Can't predict it or how. But it's fine. Everything's fine. It's not true. We would know because it happened in the news. I don't know how many years ago. I'd have to look at the timeline again, but one of the greatest heroes and original Novas of Team Tomorrow died in a mysterious explosion, and the Aeon Society told everyone that it was a heroic death and he saved lots of people. No, he blew up like a nuke, because that's what actually happens to Novas. You cannot stop your power from increasing, no matter what you do, unless you literally never use your superpowers and say, I'm going to go get a day job, that's what my character does. You're either going to transcend into a state so far beyond humanity you disappear, like ScarJo in that movie where she injected the drugs into her abdomen, or you're going to blow up like a nuke, or Terrigen will convince you to embrace the monster, and you'll become a supervillain. There's no happy ending, it's an Onyx game. But we don't know that.
You do not. And that was the Sao Paulo blast.
Yes. So, much like all Onyx games, we start with the concept, and I know I told all of you I had archetypes for you, and I do, but that's only the superhero parts. You guys got to make your characters yourselves. So, first you should come up with like a one-sentence concept that describes you. So, JT, what is yours? Since you have one as an example.
Mine's going to be sort of like a ex-military freedom fighter type, who's like maybe. Yeah, we'll go with that for now, and we'll tweak it as we go.
I am a murdered scientist myself. When I what's it called? What's the word? It's not exploded. Erupted. When I erupted, it happened 2 minutes after I was dead.
Fair.
That's why I'm so weird. Zach, what's your concept? I'm sure you have one.
My concept is a shock stunt performer.
Yeah,
For
nice.
those who are unfamiliar, there was a television network that used to play music videos, who sometime in the late 90s started a show where people did stupid stuff and hurt themselves for people's entertainment. it then went and spawned off a television show where two of those people went and did that, but with wild animals. And this character is based off of one of them.
So, let's start with Jason. When you got a concept? Not necessarily just your superhero, but who you were before you erupted too.
Yes. So, my guy is a scientist. Actually, had kind of the similar idea of a scientist, but instead of him erupting after his death, he erupted after his divorce and just wants to get his wife back.
Okay.
So
Jane.
his motivation for being a superhero is to impress his ex-wife and get her back.
My character.
Simple and straight up.
My character prior to their eruption was a jeweler's assistant, and one day something real funky got plopped into their shop, and now she's got magical crystal powers.
And what was it you said you were before the eruption? Like just
A jeweler's assistant.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Harry,
Yes.
what were you before you were a teleporter?
Teleporty Aberrant, who erupted after a bank heist went very wrong.
Straight up criminal, approved.
Yes. And now, and figured that teleporting was a real nifty skill to suddenly develop when you're cornered in the back of a vault, awaiting the police to come in and arrest you.
How convenient.
Present.
Yeah, you can just poof out. Oh, shit.
That's actually everyone, yes, because Ray's internet dropped. So, after you form your concept, this is when the game tells you to pick your aspirations, one long-term and two short-term. I like to wait until after everything else is done, because it makes a little more sense once you understand the party arrangement, who you are. So, next comes paths in a story path game. You have your origin path, which is how you got started. Your role path, which is your occupation or area of expertise. And your society path, which is your connection to society or within a larger organization. They can be positive or negative, it doesn't matter. But each path consists of the following. A short description. Linguistics professor, indebted to the Second Estate, survivor of the Second Civil War, or whatever. 4 skills associated with the path. You pick the 4 from the sheet, but they have to make sense to the path. And then connections, which Dwayne will work with us to figure out how that's going to work. And then edges. You will get 2 dots worth of edges to distribute to the path. Again, the edge and or edges must make sense with the path. So let's start with Zach, since I know he's probably got this planned out. You can see how it works in practice.
All right, so start off with the origin path being the adventurer. He got in, he was a curious kid, would go off and just do stupid things that, kids do. Sometimes it was dangerous skateboarding tricks. Sometimes it was jumping off of a roof into a pool. Sometimes it was petting their stray dog. But either way, he always had that adventurous spirit in him. He found a way to make that adventurous spirit of performing silly or sometimes what people would consider reckless stunts, and turn that into a celebrity, which is going to be his role path. The skills that I did modify that a little bit, because I figure since he is some sort of an actor and is in front of people all the time who aren't always telling the truth, integrity made a little bit more sense than humanities, since he's not actually trained to be a celebrity. He's celebrity because he's of his stupidity. And then just assigned just now, since we are going to be working in Project Utopia for a society path. Seemed like a good fit.
And what skills did you drop? I know you said some of them.
I don't know, I gotta pull it back up. And where are they? So, Adventurer came out of the Trinity core book for the path. So if you bear me just a moment while I try to find that on the...
Yes, there are some pre-made paths in both the Aberrant book and the Trinity core book. If you're having trouble coming up with your own, or you just want to pick something that's already there.
Yep. So I just pretty much took the Adventurer path directly from the book. And if I can figure out what page it's on, I can tell you what it came with.
It's page 41.
I was almost there too. I was on page 40.
I'm just
All
looking right at it.
Yeah. So skills: aim, athletics, pilot, and survival. Aim is shooting things. It is not limited to just guns. It is bow and arrows, crossbows. I'm guessing throwing things. If you have, those little darts that you blow darts, that could work too. Athletics. Pretty much every storytellers or story path game has athletics in it. It is doing physical stunts. Seemed to be fitting for him. Pilot, occasionally someone thinks it's a good idea to let him drive. Could be silly mountain biking adventures, or could be just him hitching his skateboard back to the back of a car. And then finally, survival. He goes out and often puts himself in risky situations. We'll say that.
Questionable situations.
Questionable situations. But in the middle of the middle of the woods, and dressed up in a zebra costume, walking around in an area where there just happens to be a bunch of lions. It happens sometimes. We've all been there, right?
Sure.
So he's got a little bit of survival from that. Celebrity, on the other hand, comes, which is in the Aberrant book, and I had that one easily defined, page 99, for those following along at home. So they come with culture, empathy, humanities, and persuasion. So persuasion is the ability to talk to people. Seems kind of, it is what it is. It's, that's just, I clearly don't have dots in persuasion. That's why I'm not explaining it well. But that's why my character gets
at least one
to.
interaction with an individual, you are going to need to persuade them for some reason, whether to get additional information, gain favors, something like that.
Oh, well, that's good, because when we get to Mega Edges, I did take Compelling Presence to help out with that. Culture represents a character's knowledge of religious practice, pop culture, other cultural touchstones. Being a celebrity, that's something that they have to have. Otherwise, they would not be a celebrity for a very long time. Let me see, the other was, I believe, empathy, which allows them to, or empathy is, ability to read and understand people's emotions and behaviors. There is some, being a celebrity, being in front of people, you have to know how to talk to people. You have to know how to read a room so that you don't say something stupid to get you on the outs with the networks. You don't want to say something on Twitter that'll get you fired because even if you are a raging asshole, you have to know not to be a raging asshole. So, celebrity needs that. Humanities is one that came in with that, and it's essentially basically a liberal arts education. My character may not have gone to college, so that didn't quite seem fitting for him. While integrity is something that you use when you're lying, when you're trying to resist temptation, when even meditating, all falls under the integrity skill. And for somebody who goes up and presents a character to the world who has to always be on, I thought that was a little bit more appropriate.
Yep.
So I swapped those.
Okay.
So, having heard how he did all of that, and don't worry about the edges, we'll do those as their own set. We're going to focus on skills for now. Let's go to Harry. What's your origin path, and what are your 4 skills?
I'm thinking of being the sneak. My 4 skills would be...
Can you pull up the snake?
Okay, Jane's pulling up the sneak.
Survivalist, personality fighter.
My
Here we go.
4 skills would be larceny, close combat, athletics, and there is not a stealth skill.
Athletics is used for that.
Okay, and what else should I do?
Subterfuge.
Yeah, subterfuge is a skill?
Is
I think so.
I don't see it on the
I don't
sheet.
see it here.
Oh, it's not in Aberrant. You're right. It is in
Maybe
Scion.
survival or technology.
Technology. That way I could, hack shit.
Things,
For the sneak,
Yeah.
the sneak has athletics.
Oh, the sneak
enigmas-
has skills. That's my...
athletics, enigmas, larceny, and technology.
Enigmas. Interesting. Puzzle solving.
Yeah.
Now, for the 4 skills, you get 3 dots. You can put them all in one skill, spread them out, it doesn't matter, but you won't be able to get dots in all 4. The reason it gives you 4 skills is as you advance your character, you buy upgrades to your role as a package, and you get more dots for all the skills associated. But at the beginning, you only get 3 dots for those 4 skills. Let's hear Jane's origin while Harry spends those.
So I'm thinking of doing a slight retcon to my idea and going with a celebrity role since I didn't see anything that looked like a crafts kind of thing. So perhaps she was a jewelry model, and on the runway, things just happened to get a little too crystally.
I thought there was a thing for that. Let me look.
For celebrity?
No, for crafting things, mechanical repair, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I didn't really see one that would fit something like jewelry making, but it's okay. I like the idea of her being a model because just like Veronica, she's going to be a major bitch, maybe even more of a bitch than Veronica.
Jane has a type. To be fair, I encourage her to play this type because she's really good at it.
Yeah, you also encourage...
She's not like this at all, IRL.
So celebrities get... Oh wow, I get a lot of things. So integrity, persuasion, food, culture. Okay, humanities, medicine, science, or technology. Okay, so let's see. What would make sense? Integrity and persuasion, you gotta have so you don't get canceled. But let's see, what would a model need? Harry, you like stuff, knowledge. What
You smart man. What you know.
Yes.
Integrity,
No,
persuasion.
I already get those.
Oh.
I get two of culture. So
You need probably humanities and technology because you want to know social media stuff.
Yeah, knowing the tech would be wise if you're doing that way.
Yeah.
Okay, and I have 3 points to spend in this. So.
All right, Jason, what do you got?
I am like Jane gonna switch up my concept a little bit. Since we've already got somebody who's a doctor, my guy is going to be a cop. So he was a police officer, and this occurred. But I think I'm going to stick with the just wanting to kind of get his family back because he got pushed away from them by gaining these powers. So I'm going to go with the origin path of military brat because that seems fitting for someone who went into police. Role path detective, and then the society path. Is that you just kind of pick one of the societies? Because I didn't really see any of those in the book.
It can also just be how you relate to society, but I'll jump back to you for that. You'll have time for that. For now, just the origin path.
Okay. So let's hold off on that. So the skills for military brat are command, enigmas, integrity, and technology.
Perfect. JT.
All right, I'm going pretty hard on the existing paths. My origin path, survivalist. Grew up sort of like off-grid cabin. Parents were sort of hated the government. Taught me to hate the government. So me and Toe-Ring's characters might have some tiffs. So with that, I'm picking the survivalist. So I would get aim, close combat, medicine, and survival. Just very outdoorsy, deceptively outdoorsy, one might say. And then despite his dislike of the government, he does go in the military, not really out of a sense of patriotism or anything, but just for the skill set. As part of his sort of prepping mindset, he figured the training in the military would be more. So I'm picking combat specialist as his role path.
Right. So I had to look at something. Did you list your skills for your origin path?
I thought I did. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay.
Yeah. Close combat, medicine, survival, and then combat specialist.
We can. I'm gonna come back to that in a second. Sorry. Doing one at a time.
We're only doing one. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, one path. You're fine. One path at a time. I wasn't clear.
So.
I was unclear.
It's okay. Somebody got their paths mixed up, so it's.
I spoke longer to give everybody else more time to get used to stuff since mine was already down.
In question on mechanics, I'm adding 1 point in each of the skills, correct?
No, you get 3 points for all 4.
Oh.
Yeah,
So
and you can put as much as you want into any of them, but you're only going to have 3 points total.
Yeah. You could have 3 points in just one skill, spread it out to 3 different skills, 2 in one in the other. But one of them is not going to have anything.
The reason that they do that is because as you advance, you buy them up as a package instead of individually.
Gotcha. Okay.
Also, when you get to your second rolls, when we get around to them, you can overlap if it makes sense, so that you have one skill across multiple paths. My origin path was theoretical physicist, giving me science, technology, engineering, and persuasion because you gotta write those damn grants. I did cutting edge science, and some of my theories were picked up by the Aeon Society, but there were people who didn't like what I was doing. Because some people don't like the Aeon Society. I don't know why, they're cool. All they do is help Novas. I was killed for it. I was killed and then tossed in my own machine, and I erupted inside. So, back to Harry. What's your role path?
My role path here. Let me hear. I think I'll. Oh, these are role paths.
So I think sneak.
So I fucked up.
Yeah.
The sneak was my role path. My origin path.
And then these ones are.
Okay, I fucked up.
Yeah, you fucked up. Where?
I guess you would say I would be an adventurer of some kind because I didn't come from a particularly bad background, but my character was desperate for excitement in his life, so he took to pulling off elaborate heists. So wait, what are the skills for that?
The skills for you are an adventurer, so that is
Aim, athletics, pilot, survival.
okay. So that's for your role path, but your that's your origin path is.
Your origin path will be adventurer. Your role path is the sneak.
Yes. And for role path, do I also get 3 points, or?
You also get 3 points for those 4 skills.
AIM, athletic chain. What are you?
I don't know what's going on with my computer.
What was the society we're working for again, Dwayne?
AIM.
Project
athletics,
Utopia.
pilot
Thank you.
survival.
Or I should say you were employed by Project Utopia. If when we get further down and we get into these like society and the connections, and you guys want to go with the elites, that will be totally fine. Because the elites are kind of like your contractor, mercenary style novas.
Mm-hmm.
Not exactly good, not exactly bad. We just do it for the highest bidder.
Okay, so Jane, what was your role path?
Okay, so origin path is life of privilege. Role path would be celebrity then, if I'm understanding this correctly.
Correct.
Okay, so hi, despite being in college, books, who they?
Okay.
There's a reason why I'm an art major.
And what was next? Jason, because we heard Zach's. Yes.
My role path will be detective, and the skills associated with that are aim, enigmas, integrity, and persuasion. So a little bit of overlap with my previous.
Okay.
That is okay.
And JT.
So as I said, he joined the military right out of high school. Well, he was homeschooled, of course. But at 18, enlisted in the military. So I'm picking the combat specialist, which comes with aim, athletics, close combat, and integrity. And I'm choosing to put a second point into aim, and then athletics and close combat.
And my role path is Dark Avenger trying to learn his limits. So I have athletics, aim, close combat, and technology. Always trying to tweak that machine because maybe someday I can fix myself. Zach, society path. Did you list yours? I think you did. I missed it.
So yeah,
Okay, as long as you did yours, we're good. As long as everyone else heard it and not me. I'm multitasking. So Harry, what's your society path?
That's hard.
Are they just skills and extra talents?
Society paths are like how you interact with society, right? Is there like a specific society path I should like? Is there a page number or something, or?
I don't. Does it have examples of those?
No.
So in each of the societies in the Aberrant book, at the end of the description, there's the kind of society path for that organization.
And you can also just make one up, like, what is it you want to be? What do you do for Project Utopia? What's your job for them? Normally, not necessarily for this mission.
Oh, it is.
So you can use the default Utopia one, Harry, or you can just define your own job with your own 4 skills for the society.
My own job would be like probably intel gathering, breaking and entering, espionage type thing.
Yeah, so then you can put that down. Project Utopia field agent. That's the polite way to say that.
Yeah. And if you even want me to, I can break it down. So Project Utopia has a lot of different divisions. You could be part of the security division, science and technology, peacekeeping, Nova affairs.
So that would be like larceny, technology, athletics, and probably persuasion, in case you get caught. Or if you're setting up an asset.
That's 3 dots as well?
Yep, among those 4.
Mm-hmm.
Jane, for you, that last one he mentioned might be good. Nova, what'd you say?
Nova affairs division.
Yes. Like
public
relations.
Or even Who knows? Maybe you could be a member of, or an upcoming member of Team Tomorrow.
Oh no! Never join the A team.
I was thinking definitely something negotiations based because she's got a pretty face and she knows how to use it.
So yeah, and just pick 4 social skills and give yourself 3 points.
All right, perfect. So that is Nova negotiations.
Now they actually have a public relations division specifically
Oh.
for social media relations.
Like a, a superhero influencer.
But the skill set would, it would be
Yeah.
about the same. It's just a matter of which department you would want.
Jason, what about you?
I will do the Project Utopia, probably be in the security division. So I'm going to use kind of what they have in here because that seems pretty fitting. So athletics, close combat, command, and integrity. Those seem like they fit pretty well with somebody who's a security type person.
And JT.
I like the idea of being in the Peacekeepers division. Is that a division or is it called something else?
That's the peacekeeping division.
Yes. And sort of being violent to stop violence or threatening violence to stop violence, hunting down bad guys.
I am. Go ahead. Sorry.
So that I'm going to take. I feel like I would need culture because I'd be around the world in different places, and have to like integrate into wherever I am. Empathy for the same thing, and and then I will take one in integrity as well. Those will be my 3 from that. Does that make sense?
Yes, to me. Yeah, you good with that, Dwayne? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my role is Project Utopia Special Operator. Mostly wet works. So, aim, athletics, close combat, and technology. I kill people. Messily sometimes. I make statements. Edges!
So
go ahead.
Just so that the characters know, so technically this would be player knowledge, not character knowledge, but technically Tyler would not work for Project Utopia. He would be working for what's their black hat subsidiary?
Yeah, I can't remember the name either, but the
Project
symbol
Proteus.
is Proteus. The symbol's cool.
Well, no, so Project Utopia also has a variety of teams. While it is not official, there's Team Tonight, which they use to send out, which they have Novas to send out problems that cannot be solved by the public-facing Novas that they have in their employ. So that's something that would work as well.
57 is the next page in the core book you're looking for, because each of your paths gives you 2 dots worth of edges. Some edges cost 1 point, some cost 2, some cost more. You'll also get more edges at the end. So if you kind of want to, this is up to Dwayne, but if you find a 3-point one you like, you might be able to save the 2 points from your roll and add a point from your freebies. Otherwise, pick a 1 or 2 pointer.
And these have to be ones that are part of one of our paths?
Yeah, they have to fit your path. You'll get
Okay.
your own free choice ones later, and then when we get to the Nova template, you get mega edges, which are free choice too.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
But these can only be the free human sort of edges. So Zach, go. And you can
All
just
right.
do all 3 now. Like everybody can do all 6 of their edges.
So, danger sense for the adventurer seems pretty fitting for someone who is going out and getting in trouble a lot, to have that kind of sense of what's knowledge of what's going on. I believe under the description for celebrity, it actually says you have to take fame.
Yeah, there's a couple that say that. It sounds right.
Yep. So I got it out of fame. And then as part of Project Utopia, figuring that he is going to be a good, upright Project Utopia member, upholding truth, justice, and being a good citizen. Iron Will seems like that would be a nice touch for him.
Cool.
And yet, yes, I did look. Fame is required if you take the celebrity role.
Okay. Oh, you got more?
I was just going to say fame is also required for Novas or taking alternate if you don't take alternate identity. So since we're talking about the edges now, he's got at least 2 dots of fame before any experience spending.
And Harry.
So I have the edges for each of my crews. Do I take 3 dots, like normal?
2 points of edges per roll. 6 total.
Okie doke.
But they can cross over like skills.
Got it.
Because there's lots of edges that have multiple ranks.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think I'm gonna do 1 in free running, 1 in swift, and you think I should do photographic memory or? Oh well, I should obviously put 1 in covert. Never mind.
Yeah, you should definitely.
I'll do that. I'll find photographic memory later. We can ever add edges.
That's all 6 of your points?
Oh,
you can do them all. We're going to do the whole list
6.
now.
Oh,
Two per roll. Yeah, 2 per roll.
2 per
Okay, you get two edges for your origin path.
2 for roll path, and then 2 for society path. Or just.
Is that right, Tyler?
Correct. One for all rolls. 2 points for each roll of edges.
Okay.
And Jane, you have any of yours picked?
I have so life of privilege and celebrity gets to fame already. So does that mean that I'd have 2 dots or 4 dots in fame?
But you have to take fame. It's up to you with how many points you're going to put in it.
Right.
You have to put
okay.
1.
You have to take a minimum of 1, plus you get 1 assigned to you automatically for being a Nova, so you're at 2 no matter what, but you can buy more.
Okay.
Unless you want alternate identity instead of fame as a Nova.
No, she's probably like, she goes to other places, shows like, hey, we're not terrorists, we're good, look at how fabulous I am. Yeah. And then I took Skilled Liar and Striking Wealth. I need to pick 1 more, right?
Artistic talent sounds like one from what you were describing you wanted the character to
Yeah.
Yes, so that too. Okay, I think I distributed my points appropriately.
Okay.
I hope.
That means
Yeah,
it's
one more.
Jason's turn.
I
Oh,
get
nope.
1 more.
Okay.
Really?
You should have spent 6 points of edges.
No. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
2 by
six
default.
6 dots.
And Jason.
There's a lot of these. Sorry, I'm just kind of trying
Oh,
to
yeah.
read through them.
If you want us to come back to you, we can. I'm just going in order.
I'm going to take Danger Sense, Patron, and then I think Tough Cookie seems fitting, so I want to read that.
That's a good
Yeah.
one.
That's a good one for me, I think. And then I think I'm going to do Small Unit Tactics.
Okay.
That's a 2-dotter. That seems fitting.
And JT.
Well, I was going to do small unit tactics, but we probably don't need 2 people with that. So I'm going to do armor expert, which is 1 point, fame at 1, Well, I don't know. We talked about this off screen, but I'd prefer not to have fame and take an alternate identity. But you said that's like real easy to screw up. Is that the case?
Really, that's up to Dwayne. But yes, depends on how messy we are.
Yeah,
Our missions.
exactly. Like if you can maintain your alternate identity without.
I mean, you fix that the way all superheroes do. You put on a mask.
Yeah. So yeah, you could be the one person with a mask.
And I'll be, and my name will be the mask. No. Yeah, I'm gonna take alternative identity too. Then.
Okay.
Let's try it.
Right.
I have wealth 2 for my role, scientist. I was good at what I did. And then for both of my military backgrounds, Iron Will at 2 ranks and 1 against the ocean for close combat superiority. And now we jump back to where we already were. I think that was 37-ish. Yep, 37. And you can finish out your skills here by adding 6 more dots to any skill for anything you want. Once you've assigned your dots, everyone say done, so we know, because then we have to pick skill tricks and skill specialties.
Wait, so you get 6 more dots so we can put anywhere, or
Yep.
Anywhere.
just anywhere, or just our skills that we
Anywhere you want on the sheet.
Well,
Okay.
Under skills.
Right.
Under skills. Okay.
Any skill you want. It doesn't have to be your origin roll or society skill, though. It can be any skill on the sheet.
Done.
On.
What's larceny again?
Breaking and entering.
Breaking and entering.
Okay, yeah, no, I probably should not have that. So, okay.
You did work in a jewelry shop. You may have 1 dot. You may know security systems.
That's true.
Okie doke. Mine's done.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Next, for any skill that has 3 or more dots, you get a specialty. Or, I'm sorry, a skill trick.
Skill trick.
Yes. So when you hit 3 dots, you get a skill trick, and for every dot above 3, you get another skill trick. Also, for any skill at or above 3, you also get a specialty. Skill tricks should be listed with the skills, beginning on page 44, if I'm not incorrect. Checking now. Yep, they have a bunch of listed ones, and you can pick your own too. So starting on page 46, actually. For skill specialties, there's an example on 45 of how it works, but really you make it up. Like a word that fits a specialty, so science for me would be physics, for example. So go ahead and sign those now, and announce when you're done again. And on the form fillable sheet, I failed to make that form fillable, so you'll have to use your notes section. Oh no, there's a section for specialties and skill tricks on page 2. Haha. At 3 points for the skill, you get a specialty. JT.
Yeah.
For skill tricks, you get your first skill trick at 3 points and 1 for every point above 3.
Okay, so I only have aim at 3, so I get 1 specialty and 1 skill
Trick. Yeah.
skill trick.
Yep.
Correct. Anybody need any help?
The specialty for aim would be like maybe a specific type of weapon.
Correct.
Okay. All right, I'm done then. can go if we want to start going.
Can that be tied to something that you intend to take as a Nova?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you got all yours, JT, yeah, go ahead and fill some dead air for us.
Yeah, so since I have aim at 3, I'm going to say that my character was a precision shooter or sniper when in the military. So he has hidden, he has sniper rifle as a specialty for aim, and then hidden arsenal because that kind of fits in with his survivalist and prepper mindset that he'd always have some kind of backup at the last minute no matter what.
And did you get skill tricks?
The hidden arsenal is a skill.
Oh, that was it. Yep. My specialties are physics for science, agile for athletics, rifles for aim, and claws for close combat. Like Jason said, getting ready for aberrant stuff. I'll get to my skill tricks in a minute.
Okay.
Because my sheet just closed, so go ahead, Jason.
I'll say I only have one at 3, and it's aim. And I'm gonna take gun tool as my skill trick.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if this is accurate, but I'm assuming that there's some kind of a ability that will allow me to like blast energy or electricity or something. So I'm gonna take that as my specialty.
Yeah, you can just put it down for now as specialty.
I just put blast.
Energy blast, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll edit it later,
Okay.
depending on how it turns out.
Quantum attack is what it's called, and then we add the specifics later.
Quantum attack. Got
Yep.
it.
Jane and Harry, you got any yet?
I'm currently doing my specialties and skill tricks. I'm almost done writing that.
Okay.
And then we'll take a look at my stuff. So far, his list features Deadly Strike, Fast Planning, Physical Actor, It's All in the Reflexes, No Barrier, Set a Thief, and
I'm trying to decide the last one for larceny.
why not? It was already mine. Your character's backstory is like a thief. This one plays very well to thieving. If you just a yoink.
Yeah.
My skill tricks are: I wasn't aiming at you for rifles, no barriers for athletics, deadly strike for close combat, and R&D expert for science.
Well, I was actually thinking about going with no barriers, but in the end I went in for it's all in the reflexes for skill checks for athletics. I don't know what the appropriate term for his athletic specialty is, but I wrote down move bitch, get out the way.
Never change it.
He's the type of person who's going to stick his hand, he's going to grab a fish, stick his hand in the water with a crocodile in it, and so he has to be able to move his hand out of the way from the crocodile's mouth. So that's what I have for that. Persuasion, devilishly good looks, and I put, since I went with a song title for the last specialty, for this specialty, for persuasion, I went with smooth operator.
I like it.
Okay.
Oh, I would like to interject back to me because I decided I wanted to move some of my skills around.
Do it.
So that I could have more stuff. So survival is now at 3. I'm gonna have tracking and without a trace. So those are like both. I'm good at tracking and good at not being tracked. So tracking will be my specialty, and without a trace will be my skill trick. Yeah.
Nice.
And then additionally, I now have medicine at 3. Taking my skill trick is walking wounded, so I'm good at like improvising. And then my specialty will be trauma first aid, so very specifically good at treating gunshot wounds or weapon type wounds, as opposed to, say, a broken ankle or something.
Got it.
Harry and Jane, you got yours, or are you still working?
I have mine. Jane's plugging hers in.
I just need one more for aim. Now, we're just looking at skills. Where can we find the skill tricks? Or
They're listed under the skill.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So for aim, you get hidden arsenal. You can always have, having the scene where it's like will need your weapons, and they take out all the weapons.
I don't know. I was just having my character's abilities be a weapon, i.e., just like summoning crystals out of her body or out of the ground. So let's see. Shoot to injure would probably be good. I'm gonna be hitting a lot of people in the motherfucking knees.
Okay. What were yours, Harry? Your remainders.
Oh, so so I have Deadly Strike, Fast Planning as my close combat ones. I have Physical Actor. It's all in the reflexes, and No Barrier for my athletics. Then for Larceny, I have Set a Thief, and that was already mine.
Okay. Time check. Yeah, we got time. Let's do attributes next, and then we'll take a quick break before we finish up the base template and move on to novas. So attributes. Every attribute starts with 1 dot, like all Onyx storyteller path or path games.
Yeah.
And you have to pick your favorite arenas, like other Onyx games. So, in order of priority, you're looking at mental, physical, and social. You're looking at vertical here, not horizontal. Horizontal comes later.
Okay.
So whichever category is your primary, you get 6 points, and then 4 for middle and 2 for last. So 6, 4, 2.
Okay, I am unbelievably dexterous.
Is there a limit as high as we can go on these, or
5.
You can go to 5.
But you might want to hold off on that because there's more things coming for the attributes.
okay?
So maybe stop at 4 and then
I'll stop
see
at
what
4.
happens. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll stop at 4 then.
And then you pick your favorite approach. That's horizontal. So force, finesse, or resilience. Pick the one that's your favorite. Whichever one that is, you get 1 dot in all 3 of the attributes. If that would take you over 5, then you can move it to one of the other 2 attributes.
So wait, so we get 3 in the horizontal, right, now?
Correct. But it's 1 each. It's automatically 1 each.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you chose to be finesse targeted, you would get 1 in cunning, 1 in dexterity, and 1 in manipulation.
Perfect. Okay, I got 6 dexterity then. That is dope.
Okay, and then I have...
Well, at this point, the max you can get is 5.
Oh.
You can only go above with special edges.
So I don't have one. So I'm at 5 plus the 1 dot we already get, or just 5?
5 total is the max at
5
this
total.
stage.
Okay.
If you cannot fit 1 point into, like, let's say that you were already at 5 when you picked your preferred,
Mm-hmm.
It'll
can put
slide
that
to
1
one of the
dot.
other 2.
Yeah. So it'll either go into,
Cunning or manipulation, in your case.
Okay.
right, yeah.
Put it into. I'll have 5 cunning, 5 dexterity.
So it goes 1 into each one automatically, and then... How many again?
No, 1 in each one automatically. That's just it.
Oh, okay.
And then, bonus cleanup
But it can't
time.
go to 5,
Oh,
so
sorry.
1 in 5, so you can't- Oh, sorry. Here, I'll mute myself.
Oh, no. I was just making sure Jane was caught up before I add more stuff.
Pile it on.
Yeah, exactly. Jane good? Okay. Okay, and then we get cleanup time at the end of the character creation, beginning with attributes. You get 1 extra point to put in any attribute. Again, not past 5 yet. Yet. And then
Only 1 dot in stamina. I should probably.
you also get 4 more points of edges, any edges you want from the core book only. And last but not least, figure out your health. Your health is going to be 3 levels of health automatically, plus 1 extra health level for every point of stamina starting at 3. Or no, I'm sorry, 1 at 3 and 1 at 5. You don't get 1 for stamina 4.
Okay, so you start with maimed, injured, injured.
Yep.
And then you add 1 for stamina 3 and 1 for stamina 5.
5, correct.
Sorry, I'm still on the edges. How many extra edges?
4 points.
4 points. Okay.
Yep. After everybody says they're done with that, we'll take our break and then come back and apply Nova templates.
I'm done with that.
So I have.
So the way that the sheet does it for health is slightly incorrect. Slightly not incorrect. It's confusing. So starting out, you get 1 level of maimed, 1 level of injured, and 1 level of bruised. For every stamina at 3 and 5, you get an extra injured category.
Oh, right. It wants you to fill it in. I see.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You only get 1 bruised until we get into Nova stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so it'd be maimed, injured, injured, injured,
Bruised, if you had stamina 5. Right.
Stamina 5, okay.
Yeah, it would be maimed, injured, injured. Yeah. Or wait.
Yeah.
No, because I read it wrong. I just read it and I read it wrong. Okay, so at stamina 3, you gain an additional injured. At stamina 5, you gain an additional bruised. So if you had 5 stamina, you would be bruised, injured, maimed. Blah.
Okay.
What he said.
I just read it and then I told you guys wrong.
Bruised, injured, maimed.
Right. That would be for 5 stamina.
Got it. Yeah, my guy is going to be the wall that everybody hides behind.
Is that going to be your superhero name? The Wall?
The wall.
That's actually not a bad name.
Are we talking through our attributes before we go to break?
Yeah, go ahead. List them off.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. So I went with first. I went with do the physical. So I have, and then I did finesse as my preferred horizontal. So I'll just go from the top and read it down. Intellect 2, might 2, presence 2, cunning 3, dexterity 5, manipulation 2, resolve 3, stamina 3, composure 3.
Mm-hmm. So I did physical for my vertical category, and finesse for my horizontal. So I did intellect 2, might 2, presence 1, cunning 5, dexterity 5, manipulation 3, resolve 2, stamina 2, and composure 3.
So for me, I did social and then force. So presence at 5, manipulation at 3, composure at 2, and then intellect at 3, cunning at 3, and resolve at 2, followed by might at 3, dexterity at 2, and stamina at 2.
And then I will go. I did physicals as primary, and then resilience as my chosen. So I have intellect 2, cunning 2, resolve 4, might 2, dexterity 3, stamina 5, presence 2, manipulation 1, composure 3.
I have intellect 2, cunning 4, resolve 2, might 3, dexterity 4, stamina 5, manipulation 2, composure 2, presence 1.
All right.
I have stamina for a different reason than Jason, though. I'm not necessarily your tank. I am emulating undeath in the best way possible in this game. Heavy, high, endless resistance to everything.
All right.
Okay.
So, as I mentioned, my character is not the brightest. Mental is intellect 1, cunning 2, resolve 2, plus the 1 from resilience makes 3. He's a celebrity, so he has to, be able to be good with people. Social comes next with presence 3, manipulation 3, and composure up to 3 with the resilience.
Making it 4. Oh, with 3? Okay.
With 3. Or 3 with resilience. Might and dexterity are both at 3. Stamina was also at 3, and then the 1 for being a Nova, 1 from resolve, puts him at stamina 5. Because if you're gonna be dumb, you gotta be tough.
I agree.
Those are words to live life by.
Wait, because I'm a Nova, I get an extra stamina? Or do we all get an extra?
Not automatically.
No,
Oh,
as a Nova, you get 1 dot for any attribute.
Right.
right, okay.
Yeah.
Which you could
I
put in
put in-
stamina, but we haven't added
I'll-
those yet.
Yeah. All my extras went to stamina.
Zach's way ahead of the curve.
Yeah, Zach's already moved on to the template. Like me. So, right on time for our mid-show break. When we come back, we're going to add Nova templates. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 10 minutes.
And we are back, heroes of Project Utopia. When last we left, we were finishing up the human side of our aberrants in our character creation, and now we are going to be moving on to the Nova template and create awesome powers for which our heroes or non-heroes will be using. So, let me pull up my template so that I know what I'm doing. All right. So we've already got our concepts, we've already got our paths, our skills, our attributes. Now it is time for the Nova template. So up till here, you've been mainly focused on your baseline existence, but now we're going to apply the Nova template and spend experience to choose your character's mega attributes, your mega edges, your quantum powers, and your quantum traits. So starting with...
Actually, we should start with the easy stuff first. Unless you were going to say something. Sorry. I wasn't sure which of us was doing this part.
You can. I mean, you can. You know, you can do these quicker than I can. Anyway, you could do these while you're sleeping.
Okay.
Quantum traits.
So the 4 really easy things you get for being a Nova are quantum trait rating of 1. There's a space for it on your sheet. Give her 1 dot. Next thing you get is your target number becomes 7. We talked about that for DCs. You gain 1 dot in one of your favored attributes. Any one.
That is the horizontal.
And it's not super clear about it, but you can in fact go to 6 now, Harry.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
So I'm going to stamina 6, personally.
Same.
Dex 6.
Dex 6.
And then Zach told us already what he did with his. And then you also gain the free dot of fame or alternate identity. Relative obscurity is not an option. Now, normally after that, you'd get 150 points to spend. But since this is a 12-session game, not a chronicle, you get 170.
Yay.
You can buy Nova traits, quantum traits, mega edges, mega traits, and you could also buy more skill ranks, skill tricks, skill specialties, or buy up your attributes. You could do all of that, but most of you were interested in me providing samples of how your character might look. I did none of those basic things for you, only superpowers. Because that's what this is, a superhero game. So, I'm going to go through and list what I would have picked for you and why, and then you can decide if you want to keep it or if you want to look up your own stuff and modify it. It's up to you. Except for Zach, who when I'm done can go over his because he built his own. Then I'll go over mine at the very, very end. So, first would be Ray, but unfortunately, Ray lost internet. We forgot to mention that to the audience, we're sorry. Ray will return next session. Complete death of internet in their region, or their city, for apparently. Good times. So it's going to be Jason, the Absorber. So, 3 things I added outside. So you're the only one that actually, besides Ray, that actually got 3 choices of build. Because everyone else, it kind of was like obvious what it should be. So, 3 things for you, Jason, that I would have picked that were beat all 3 builds. 2 points of the EU Fiber Edge. EU Fiber is a special fiber that Nova's figured out how to invent that is immune to quantum. It's your suit. So when you explode with energy and absorb radiation and walk into a fire and suck in the heat, you're not naked. The second point is because it's also armor. You have soft armor too that stacks with any of your other soft armor.
Okay.
Quantum rating of 3. And the absorption power with the tags, broad, siphon, and medium. What does that mean? That means you can absorb both energy and both regular energy and kinetic energy. Punches, kicks, lightning, fire, radiation, it doesn't matter. If it's based on energy, you can absorb it. Siphon means you can actually pull energy out of the environment without being attacked by it. And medium means you can do that out to the medium range band.
Okay, so that was absorption, and you said it was...
The tags of broad, siphon, medium.
Okay.
For those of you interested in looking at your own powers, and for the audience, tags are a big deal for novas. They can radically change how your powers work.
And absorption, you said at what? 2?
Absorption only has 1 rank.
Okay.
Your first template is a defensive absorber. So we would add these powers if you chose this. You don't have to write them down yet. You can keep them in your brain.
Okay.
Quantum aura, which means once you've absorbed... So everything that isn't passive, your powers requires quantum points. You spend the points to activate the power, right? You are a special kind of Nova, Jason, where when you absorb, the energy becomes quantum points. It not only recharges you instantly, it lets you go over the normal maximum. Of course, it also means if you go too far, you'll explode. And you'll start leaking energy into the environment before you explode, and it's real bad. So what do you do with that? You release it. Quantum aura lets you radiate, and you can pick what your radiate is, probably equivalent to what you absorb to make it make sense, but you radiate that in an aura around you that damages the environment, creates hazards, and can hurt people. So you can absorb fire and then create a spinning halo of fire around you. Quantum deflection, which means you create a shield of energy and deflect incoming attacks. And quantum field, which lets you take an energy source and radiate it out to the extreme of the short range band. It might be short, it might be close. You'll have to look that up.
Okay.
I believe it's short.
Those are all defensive abilities if you went full defense.
Okay.
I also have full offense as a choice, which gives you a quantum attack at rank 2. It's a beam with a medium range. Beam means you can pick a single target, or you can spray it across everyone in close range. It can come out of your hands, come out of your eyes, doesn't matter. Come out of your belly button. And density 3, meaning the more you absorb, the thicker you get. You gain ranks of mega toughness, and mega stamina, and the mega toughness trait as you gain the energy. Thicker and thicker and thicker. And then that makes you stronger too. You can start flinging cars. And then last but not least is the balance build, where I just gave you quantum attack at 3, higher attack power, and quantum deflection.
Okay.
Or you can build your own, having seen what I did there.
So because I kind of was going through the book earlier, and I noted down mega stamina as one. Was that something that would be part of one of those, or?
Mega stamina is part of density. If you look up the density, I think mega edge. That's an edge, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Let's look at it. Density.
So as Aberrant, there's 3 type of powers that you get for being a Nova. There is mega stats, there's mega edges, and there's mega powers. So each of those cost I think it's 12 XP each
per rank.
The 170 that you have.
Yep.
So you can have any mixture of that. Like there's one in the book that's Paragon. That is essentially putting them all into mega stats.
That's what you're going to be, JT, when we get to you. Density is a quantum power, not an edge. So, density at 3 ranks gives you 3 dots of Mega Might and 3 dots of toughness to Mega Edge. And it also increases your mass with a scale equal to half the dots rounded down. So you become size 2. You get like the blob.
Okay.
If you took that. You could also, like Zach said, just buy Mega Stamina. Let's say you wanted to take the balanced approach. Drop your quantum attack back down to 2. That gives you 12 points, which is 1 rank of Mega Stamina. Basically, unless you apply negatives, any rank of a Mega Stat, a Mega Edge, or a Quantum Power is 12 points. And every tag is also 12 points, unless it comes with it by default.
Okay.
It's really easy to add and remove that way in your head.
Okay. Right. When we look at this, and I will make a decision.
Harry!
Yeah.
I mimicked you after... Not Nightcrawler. I mimicked you after Nightcrawler, sometimes friend, sometimes enemy. From the Hellfire Club. Forget his name. Azazel. So, EU Fiber 2 again. I gave that to most people. People who have powers that might wreck their clothes. Because as a teleporter, your clothes don't come with you automatically, necessarily. So yours do. I also gave you a quantum rating of 4, because you require more juice to do your shit.
Mm-hmm.
I gave you movement mode of brachiation, because Nightcrawler leaps around like a maniac. That's what that lets
Okay,
you
where
do.
do I write that?
Brachiation is Mega Edge.
Mega Edge. Okay. Got it.
Body modification claws is also a Mega Edge.
Okie doke.
Body modification extra limb, prehensile tail, with a little devil point on the end, which you can hide in your pants.
Mm-hmm.
I also gave you Mega Dexterity 2, which is a Mega Stat. The dots go under your regular stats.
Yep.
Mega Strength 1. And for Quantum Powers, Quantum Teleport 2 with the tags Long Range and Impose. Meaning if you touch it, it can go with you, even offensively, but they get a resistance roll.
Okay. Quantum
Teleport at 2 ranks with Long and Impose as tags. Long range basically means if you can see it, you can go there, and if you're very familiar with the location, you can go there. You can always teleport home in this game.
Okay.
So you could totally recreate Nightcrawler from the last X-Men movie, teleporting people out of the shuttle.
Hell yeah.
No, that.
I'm
That's it.
trying to
By the
stop
way,
cracking my neck like that.
He wants me to do this. I need to pick up a squirty bottle.
Yeah, like one of those things you get cats with. No.
And that's it. That's your teleporter.
Okay,
Basically
perfect.
Nightcrawler.
We should probably let people know the quantum cost of these powers as we're doing this as well, shouldn't we?
So EU Fiber is 3 points per rank because it's a regular edge. It's not a quantum edge. Quantum rating is 12 points per dot. Above the first dot, you get your first dot free. Everything else on Harry's sheet was 12 points. 12 points for brachiation, 12 points for claws, 12 points for the tail, 24 points for 2 ranks of dex, 12 points for the strength, and then 48 points for the teleport, because 2 ranks, 2 tags.
Oh, no, I didn't mean the points for purchasing. I meant the points for activating.
Oh, yeah. If you don't want to look it up in the book, I can run those. I'll go through the templates, and then we can go back and review the costs for
Okay.
all of you at once. Probably makes more sense. Some people have the same thing. Jane! You also have EU Fiber 2 because you turn into Emma Frost with emeralds.
Yes.
That's going to wreck your clothes. EU Fiber also can be programmed to change shapes. You always are in whatever's most fashionable that day. It doesn't have to hold a
Wonderful.
single form. You also have a quantum rating of 4 because some of the stuff that you wanted to do is expensive. You have Quantum Deflection 2. You can create shields of emeralds to block things coming at you. You have Transformation 3 with the extra traits. Tag purchased twice. Now we're going to get in the weeds of superhero creation. In every superhero game ever, you always got to deal with, but I want to be Tony. I want to be Tony and be Iron Man, and his suit does 5 different things. How do I do that? Or I want to be Iceman. He doesn't just do Ice Blast. He also does Ice Shield and Ice Wave and Ice Sculptures. So in this game, they handle that 2 ways. You can buy the Mega Edge extra trait, or you can buy a specific tag that lets you buy multiple tags. So, try to explain this without being confusing. It's always hard. With extra trait, for every dot you buy an extra trait, which costs 12 points per dot, you figure out the base cost of the power. So let's say the first power is an Ice Blast. It costs 36 points in the case of this game. For each dot of extra trait, for an additional 12 points, you get a second 36-point ice ability to add. But you cannot have more dots in extra trait than you have in quantum rating. The catch is, those are in an array, which means you can only ever do one at a time, and you have to use an action to switch. So you can't Ice Blast and Ice Shield at the same time unless you buy them separately. That's the catch. That lets you set up an array of powers. The other catch is if Dwayne sends a nullifier at us. Nullifiers usually only nullify one power at a time. Your whole set counts as one power. So never build a character that only has a set. Or it's real easy to disable you. In this game, there's a second way to do that, which is tags. You can set a tag array. So you can have that Ice Blast, but you can have the Ice Blast with 3 sets of tags for the same way you bought 3 sets of powers. So you have the Ice Blast that's a beam, Ice Blast that's an AoE bomb, and an Ice Blast that doesn't hurt you but knocks you out. Which is a cool new thing I haven't seen in other superhero games, using tags instead of whole new power arrays. So, you have Transformation 3 with the extra traits 2, which basically means when you transform, you can spend 9 points on your transformation instead of the usual 3. So when you switch form, it's a reflexive action, meaning it happens the turn you do it. I'm getting ahead of myself. I apologize. When you switch form, you become Emerald like Emma Frost. It becomes Diamond. But that's all fluff. Mechanically, you get Toughness 3, which is a Mega Edge, Mega Stamina 1, and Immunity 2. Meaning it's really hard to affect you with stuff. Or, you can use that same power array to shoot people with streams of emeralds, which will be hilarious.
Yeah.
Quantum Attack 3, emeralds just hit people in the stream in the face at close range. But you can't do both at once. There's other things you can do, though, when you're in your Emerald Warrioress form. Outside of the array, you also have Molecular Manipulation with the tag Emeralds Only, which actually makes it cheaper. But if you can touch non-living inert subjects, you can turn it into emeralds. Up to size category 2 in your case. So like a car. You could turn a car into a pile of emeralds. Which you could then use the next thing I gave you, which is a second array, Emerald Control Array. 2 things you can do in this array, only one at a time. Quantum Agent 3, which is this game's version of summoning. So you can create constructs made out of emeralds. Catch is, it has a emeralds must be there prerequisite, so you have to use manipulation power to turn something into emeralds. And then it becomes an emerald golem and punches your enemies.
Oh, that's good.
The second thing you can do in the array is Quantum Anima, which lets you animate other existing emeralds telekinetically, like Jean Grey. I gave that the tags Might, Strike, and Range, meaning you can attack with them. They can go up to medium range, and they're stronger than they would normally be on their own. They hit hard. So to summarize, you can turn into Emerald Lady. You can shoot streams of emeralds. You can turn shit into emeralds. You can take emeralds that exist and make them constructs that act on their own under Dwayne's control, following your orders. And you can telekinetically control emeralds. And you can create emerald shields.
Perfect.
So for yours, I am going to put it in the Discord because that's a lot. And then Harry can help you fill that out in the sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, thank you.
Yours was probably the most complex, except for mine.
I'm sorry for that.
Oh no, it was fun. I enjoy making superheroes. JT! The Punisher.
Hello.
So I gave you Quantum 3. You do not have the Quantum Suit because it's not really a thing you have to worry about. Or the EU
Quantum
suit.
3, Quantum 3 means I get 3 points in Quantum.
Correct.
Okay.
Also, while we're on it, we said it costs points to do things with your quantum powers. The number of points you have is equal to 10 plus 5 times dots in Quantum. So at Quantum 3, you have 20 points to spend before you burn out. And then after that, you either have to push your powers, risking flux and transforming, like we talked about, or burn out your body and hurt yourself, or take a rest. So, or unless you're Jason and then you just absorb something. All your stuff is what Zach was talking about with the Paragon template. So I gave you, for this potential build, Mega Cunning 1, Mega Resolve 2, Mega Might 1, Mega Dexterity 2, Mega Stamina 2, Mega Edge Accuracy 1, Mega Edge Defense 1, Mega Edge Prodigy of Aiming, and Mega Edge Prodigy of Close Combat. The Anti-Punisher.
Beautiful. I'm good with it.
I'll throw that in Discord. Well, you already saw it, so you're good.
Yep.
And that just leaves me, so let's hear Jason's. Zach's.
All right. So I'm still working on building it. I'm about halfway done. I've got 92 or so of the 170 XP spent, all through Mega Edges and Mega Stats. So I haven't done the Quantum Powers yet, or added any Quantum Points. So picked up Mega Dexterity and Mega Stamina. Both of those are required for his some of his Mega Edges. Animal Mastery does not require any prerequisite, so it took that at 2 dots, so we can get both uses out of that.
Gotta have a Beast Boy.
Oh yeah. Compelling Presence at, let me see, that was at 2 dots as well, so that he can kind of calm and the room down, make things kind of go his way without having to fight it out. Defense.
You said that was Compelling Presence?
Compelling Presence. Defense is at 1 right now, and regeneration is at 1. Defense I'm going to leave as a dump once I'm done going through and seeing what other of the actual powers that I'm looking to take. He's a lover, not a fighter. So when he does have to get into fights, he's going to be taking powers with tags that cause stun effects, and that doesn't necessarily do, any lethal damage or anything like that. For an example of one that I'm looking at but still working out how to work in is non-lethal, which is 2 dots. Produces the stun attack, stun condition. If attacker allocates at least 4 successes to the attack, the target gains the unconscious status condition. So during a fight, can using enough successes, can just knock somebody out, take it out of the fight. So I'm looking at building the powers based off of a couple of those tags. I am actually very interested in the vampiric tag. Just trying to figure out how to work that into his abilities.
And then I'm also going to touch on Ray's, even though the Ray's not here, so everyone can hear it in case they modify their own. Ray wanted to recreate their deviant character somewhat. I might be an angel, I'm not sure, but that's how the energy manifests itself character. So I gave Ray EU fiber, a quantum rating of 3, and then their choice of the feathered angel, the calculating angel, or the warrior angel. The feathered angel is a presence, has wings, can glow body luminescence, and has elemental mastery of lights with a whole bunch of different sets of tags. The calculating angel is good at infiltration, controlling light and darkness, and focuses more on disarming with light and becoming invisible or turning other people invisible. The Warrior Angel is all about damage. So you know. My character, so for fluff reasons, so it makes sense, when they threw me in my own machine after stabbing me, the machine kind of Dr. Manhattan me without the cool ending. So I was discorporated into a mist. My natural form is actually vampiric mist. I appear as just blackness, like a black fog. So, that'll make sense in a minute. My quantum rating is 4. I also have EU fiber, because, yeah, my shit's weird. And I have Elemental Mastery. And this is for you, Dwayne, because you're like, Tyler always tries to make it as weird as possible, so I did just for you. I did an array within an array. So, I have Elemental Mastery. I call it Hungering Darkness with Technique 2. It has the negative tag Ramp Up 3, meaning switching between the 3 different power sets requires 3 full turns. It's not instant. Base is Transformation, because that's how I maintain a humanoid form. Without that, I become Vampiric Mist to do my other stuff. So, in Transformation form, it's Transformation 4, extra trait 3. So that's 16 points worth of transformation effects. I can move them around, but the standard form is basically Morbius. With regeneration, quantum leaping, mega might, mega dex, mega cunning, mega stamina, resistance maxed, claws, rapid strike, scanning sense, echolocation, toughness 2, and vampiric melee attacks with my default claws.
Okay.
I can also do illusion at 7, at power level 7. That doesn't have the same effect as other powers with its point value. It basically means I can roll a lot of dice to apply effects to the illusion. And then I have, as the third power in the array, Quantum Attack 3, Darkness, Ranged Medium, Beam, Vampiric. I shoot Rays of Shadow in mist form, or do illusions. Very convincing ones. And then I also have Defense 2, Dense Flesh 2, and Shroud of Darkness, but it doesn't work in direct sunlight. Another weak tag to remove points.
Okay.
Now we can go over...
I have to make sure that it's always daylight.
That only affects the one power, though, because I knew you might do that. So, quantum Mega Edges and Mega Traits don't require quantum points to use, but quantum powers do. So like Dwayne said, I'm going to hit through these, and if you have one, you can record what it takes. Absorption doesn't cost anything because it gives you points. However, like I said, it can go wrong if you overcharge too much. I don't think anyone has Boost, but if you buy Boost to boost the dots in your attributes, it's 2 points of quantum to activate. This is one of the strange ones where it's not per rank, so it's just 2 points to activate no matter how many dots you're boosting. Also, these all have a default duration of continuous in rounds. Meaning it does wear off, but it's continuous while it's running. You can add tags to make it continuous minutes, then continuous hours, if you want to. Cloak. Anyone who has that for invisibility, which would be Ray, is 1 quantum point to activate. Oh, hold on 1 second.
Density, if anyone has that, which I know somebody did.
Oh yeah, that one went to Jason.
Jason, yes. That is 1 quantum point per dot to activate.
Yep. And then
Elemental Mastery.
You can go from here. My voice just breaks, all you.
Elemental Mastery is all kinds of varied. So with Elemental Mastery, what does that one break down?
Elemental Mastery is essentially a practical use of the Mega Edge technique. The technique Mega Edge. So yeah, there's no default. Yeah.
Yeah. Environmental Anima. If anybody had that, that's 1 quantum point standard, not per dot. Flight. If anyone chooses Flight, That is 2 quantum points to activate. And then we've got growth. Growth is 1 quantum point per dot of growth.
I can only picture Sean's character anytime I see that power now.
The Siberian. Healing, which I heard one person. That cost is 1 quantum point to activate.
That's JT, yep.
Yes. Illusion for Dr. Strangelove.
3 points,
3
baby.
points.
And then
3
successes.
points,
Successes determine what I can do, which is the ranks. That's how many dice I get.
Molecular Chameleon.
Which is a cool power, but nobody has that.
Yeah, 1 quantum point per dot. Molecular Manipulation, which Jane does have, is 1 quantum point to activate.
Making emeralds is cheap and easy.
Yep. Nobody took Morph. That is 1 quantum point.
No, we don't got any mystiques in this party.
Did anyone take Phasing? That's 2 quantum points.
Almost gave it to Harry, but no. No kitty prides.
And nobody took Plasticity, but that is 1 quantum point.
No Mr. Fantastic, sadly.
Nobody took Quantum Agent.
Yes, Jane has Quantum Agent at 3
Jane has
ranks.
Quantum Agent. That is 3 quantum points to activate.
Now, because Jane is a busy college kid, I recommend that you and I come up with some default forms. We just use those when she wants to use the power. Like, before next week.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's a lot to that if you dig into it.
Yeah.
It's got a whole chart.
Yeah. Ranking of 1 dot, primary, secondary. Yeah, all kinds of weird stuff.
Yeah.
Quantum Anima is 2 quantum points.
Lots of people have that, yeah.
Quantum Attack is 2 quantum points.
And that's for anyone that has any kind of energy attack or spraying emeralds. That's what that is.
And that is not per dot. That is just
2 points to shoot.
2 points to shoot.
However, that's 2 points per shot, so you could go through it real fast and fight.
Yes. Quantum Aura is 1 quantum point. Quantum Construct. This is Jane's wheelhouse right here.
This is the other one. Yeah. That's the telekinetic use of emeralds we were talking about.
Yeah. Quantum Deflection is 2 quantum points. Quantum Disruption is 2 quantum points. I believe most people have a couple of people have Quantum Field. That is 1 quantum point.
I gave everybody either field or deflection, correct? Yeah. I believe strongly in defense.
Don't think anybody took Quantum Imprint, but that is 2 quantum. Quantum Leech, which is for Jason, I do believe. That is 1 quantum point.
No, he only has absorption.
Only absorption.
Quantum Leech is specifically white hair streak, draining other novas. Rogue, thank you.
Oh, yeah. I was like, what does a rogue have to... Oh, yeah. Mine's in different games. I don't think everyone had Remote Perception. That's 2. Shrinking. I'm surprised nobody wanted to be...
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Ant-Man. That is 1 per dot. Shroud is 2 quantum points. Teleport for Harry, 2 quantum points.
Also, I'm going to point out here, Harry, that it's reflexive to do that. It doesn't necessarily take actions. And you can substitute your teleport roll, which is quantum dots plus dots in the power, for defense. You can teleport out of the way of bullets.
But so because I have 4 quantum points, so I could only do that like twice before having to...
No, you have 4 points in the power. That gives you 30 points of quantum energy.
Yeah.
It's the number of points you get to spend on the powers is equal to 10 plus dots times 5.
Oh, okay. Got that.
So, yeah, you got 30 points to spend before you burn out.
So you could teleport 15 times
yeah.
before you burned out.
Okie doke, got it.
But even though it does like 30, you're like, wow, 30 is a lot more than what you thought you had. It still goes by pretty quick if you're using your
Yeah, if I'm
powers
just
round
poofing
after
around
round.
the place.
We are still low-level heroes.
Yeah.
Transformation is 1 per dot. Transmutation is 3. I don't think anybody took warp. That was 2.
Nope, I almost gave it to Harry, but it's not really worth it.
And that is it.
Now, we have 2 choices at this point. After you decide to do your final review. Because not everyone's done. We could do an introductory thing with roleplay only, or we could save it for next week and cut a little early. It's up to you, Dwayne.
Well, I kind of don't want to. Well, kind of did want to start, but
If it's
a lot
not
of
a
the first
fight.
part. No, it's not a fight, but a lot of the first part isn't. It's not even going to be a lot of role playing anyway. It's going to be like, oh, it's going to be a lot of explanation. So I say we play it safe, cut early, make sure everybody's character sheets are good to go 100%.
Start
And-
full session next
And
week.
then full session hardcore, go after the bad guys next session.
There'll be a lot less of me talking next session, too, only to help with mechanics.
Yeah.
So, Harry, you got everything you need?
I believe so.
Jane, anything you're stuck on?
I think I got the numbers right. Quantum deflection 2, transformation 2, molecular manipulation 2, emerald control 2, quantum anima 3.
Transformation 3, otherwise, yes.
Oh, okay.
You also have Quantum Agent 3
Okay, quantum.
and Quantum Deflection 2.
Yes.
Quantum Agent's your summoning power. Basically, you'll just say, I want to summon a thing, and Dwayne will take care of it. We'll have baseline things like little homunculus imps ready for you. Or big ones, who knows.
Imps just having a little imp minion never leaves.
And I gotta say, JT's original concept was a blood sorcerer. I'm a little sad I didn't get to talk to him about the homunculus power I was going to give him. Where you tear part of yourself off and turn it into a little imp minion. That was so perfect for blood.
That could have been fun.
Oh my goodness.
Oh well.
JT, everything you need for your medic warrior?
Well, you're the one that gave me my template, so as long as you didn't screw it up, then we're good.
I triple checked them all with a calculator. Jason, you got everything you need short of the stuff you're going to do before next week?
I think so. If you could send me your 3 through Discord.
3 variants.
I'll send them to you in a DM so we don't spam the room, yeah.
Perfect. That's what I was just going to say. Then I can kind of play around with those, look at them a little bit more, and figure out which one fits with where I see this guy going.
And Zach, is there anything you need from us?
No, I'm good. I gotta figure out how to make a. I'm thinking about a havoc type.
That's what I was seeing, yeah.
But more of like a shock wave that I suppose the mechanic behind that could always be dance related in the style of Party Boy, and that there could make some interesting visuals.
Quantum party rock.
Quantum pelvic thrusts. It really will drive you insane.
Oh boy.
You're
I may have some slight
you're-
changes by next week, but I'm good too, Dwayne.
You're gonna fit in very well in the first couple scenes of the story.
And feel free, all of you, to look at the templates I made during the week and be like, oh, I see why he did that, and then change it how you want. You're not beholden to those. More than anything, they're to help you understand how it works so you can make it your own. Now remember, too, quantum powers cannot be raised with XP until you max them out. Which means during the gameplay, you have to intentionally say, I want to put my power into overdrive and risk flux and risk transforming. Risk the bad side effects of being a Nova. Until you do that, that power can never improve from the level you start at. So make sure you're happy with their start levels.
That is one thing we didn't really talk about is the transcendence.
Yeah, we did not talk about flux.
Yeah, so basically, anytime you botch a roll related to quantum powers, or you max out your powers, which is you declare you're going to do that and you do it, or anytime you say, hey Dwayne, I want enhancements in exchange for flux on this roll, you start tracking flux points. So if you botch, you get a flux point. If you max out, you get a flux point. If you want to trade enhancements on a roll to be really good at it, you can trade them one for flux points. When flux points hit 10, you gain a point of transcendence.
Yeah, it's
When
like individual doom.
When transcendence hits 10, you're out of the game. As transcendence goes above 3, for every rank above 3, you start getting bad side effects. You become less and less human. It's especially important for Jane and Zach because you become less and less able to relate to normal people and they don't react to your social roles right anymore. It's a big deal. And your touchstones, the things that keep you grounded, fade away.
There are also some physical things that occur.
Yep. You'll physically transform, starting with like weird eyes, ending with energy literally sparks out of your body at all times. You can mitigate that a couple ways. You can intentionally not use your powers for an extended period of time, from days to weeks in game, to make rolls to burn flux points off. You can also spend time with your touchstones to ground yourself in the reality of being human to burn flux points off. There's a third way I can't remember. Something to do with the societies you can burn flux points off. However, you can never reverse transcendence. Once you transcend, that's it. It's done. You can only burn off flux before you hit the next transcendence rank. Between ranks. So yeah, it's dangerous to be a Nova.
If anybody's really looking for power hungry, mega attributes, if you take a point of transcendence, cost half XP.
Yeah, you can take your... that's what I said, I might make some minor changes. At creation, you can take early transformation to be more powerful. You're just speeding up your own doom, and Onyx Games love to let you do that for free. All right, Dwayne, we hand it back to you.
All right. Does anybody else have any other questions before we call this an early evening? I myself will be sticking around after the show in case anyone needs help. I'm sure Tyler will be doing something, but we'll be around.
Accurate.
But if no one has any questions now, then we are going to leave our heroes in their states of creation, in their states of eruption, if you will, until we return next Saturday. But as for other terrifying tales and awesome adventures that we have on the show, make sure that you check out Sunday's Mage Ascension 20th Anniversary White Walls, the crossover cult. It is awesome. You have Cyberpunk Red on Mondays, Victorian Age Mage the 20th on Tuesdays.
Hella fun. Check out the Indiegogo.
Yes. Brand new starting this week, Tales from the Loop on Wednesdays. Black Void with Kimchi's Grimdark Chronicles on Thursdays, and join Patty Shakes on Fridays for Scarred Lands, Draco Genesis, Titan's Lament. And make sure to check out our website, worldtales.com, to see our calendar, social media links, recaps, links to all of our partners and affiliates. Check them out. Purchase awesome stuff and support the show all in the same process. Players, yet again, let the audience know the next time that they can catch you and any cool things you will be doing outside the show.
I am Tyler, Eldritch Echoes Online, playing Not Morbius. Doesn't have a name yet. And you can catch me tomorrow running Mage White Walls, the Mage 20th Anniversary Edition Cult Crossover.
Oh,
All right.
JT, yeah.
Yeah. I'm JT. You can find me online as @Zensomancer. You can catch me next starting Tales from the Loop. Tales, yes. And,
Correct.
Yeah, and my my extracurricular is Rival Theories, a new indie TT RPG publisher, working on my first game with a friend of mine. I'm going to drop a link to our newsletter. Sign up in the chat.
Hello, I'm Jane. I'll be playing the Emerald Enchantress next week. Look forward to her bitchery. Other than that, you can catch me on Tales from the Loop, also playing perhaps another Queen Bee, perhaps not. And
Middle school Queen Bee, the worst kind.
Yes, but hey, I'm not going to suffocate anyone with a stuffed animal. Anyways, Harry, what was I saying? Oh, that's right, I have commissions open. You can find more information on my Twitter or my Tumblr under the name The Confused Crow, all one word, all lowercase. So, yeah. Harry, it's your turn.
Yes, I know. I'm the Slippery Cat on YouTube. I also am the host of the Saratoga by Night podcast. You can find me here, on Saturdays, of course, and on Wednesdays, and probably soon on Sundays, depending on how my workload is this coming week. Also, Onyx Path, Thursdays, 9:30 to 11:30 p.m. I'm playing a game of Changeling the Dreaming with Rachel. It's a lot of fun. Come tune in.
You still fighting technomancers?
Yeah, almost. The
Order of Reason?
And we are... we're approaching a final battle, and we may or may not be using magic to rope the queen into making an entire agency dedicated to fighting the technocracy and preserving changelings. So we're doing some pretty big stuff, because that's always what we do.
Nice.
Our group never does anything but the most.
Y'all are extras, Bob.
All right. So you can find me on Twitter at Zach Rules. That's a he, him. I have a couple things out on Storyteller's Vault and Canis Minor, with a couple projects in the works that will be coming out on various community content platforms. That's under Zachary Naldret. Once again, also he, him. And I have a announcement of a podcast live play for Werewolf the Apocalypse that will be coming to the Werewolf the Podcast.
Nice.
Don't have a date for that yet, but that is coming soon. And it's that's what I got.
I am the Toe Ring, _Toe Ring on Twitter. I am the host of Lore of the Apocalypse, the Werewolf the Apocalypse lore podcast, and I just play a lot of games. So hit me up and let's chat.
Oh, and Ray's not here.
Nope.
All right, so that is everyone. As Tyler would normally say, for our Ride or Die fans, we would do votes, but we did not truly play this evening. However, I don't know, since this is my first time running this style of game, how much I'm going to screw it up. So I'm already going to give everyone a vote, just in case.
Do you know what they're going to be worth yet, or are we still working on that?
I have no idea.
I often do
it's gonna
two
be
enhancements.
Yeah, it's going to be a bonus nevertheless.
Or it could be, if you're really generous, you can regenerate some flux. Or some quantum points with it. Instant regen.
Ooh, that seems a little too nice. I will lull it over, but nevertheless, everyone is going to have one quote-unquote vote for next week, courtesy of moi.
And come ready with ideas for your long-term and 2 short-term aspirations.
Yes. And we didn't touch on this, but for when your flux does get too high, have some touchstones in mind. So
yeah, people in the real world you're close to that are not other superheroes, humans.
Yes. Maybe your mother, a friend, the old lady that you bring in groceries for.
Or your comic book superheroes. There is inevitably a significant other that you're endangering by existing.
Already, Jack has a wife and child to support.
Ah. But all right, audience. Yes, we must depart for the evening and let our heroes get some rest for saving the world. But we will return to you next Saturday for all of that hero goodness or badness we have yet to decide. Until then, stay classy